Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to your cocktail hour and questions. Now, in the last video, the home handyman did a video on DIY masonry bits. Now, these are good, just general, once in a while kind of use bits. And a lot of us have them laying around. Now, they're good for, masonry block, like concrete block, paver bricks, and things like that. And they'll do an okay job. They're better than the cheap Harbor Freight bits that I talked about, where they're going to bend or they won't even last through one drilling. But keep in mind that bits for tile work and bits for concrete, especially reinforced concrete or aged concrete, these bits are going to be a different breed, and you're going to want a better, higher quality kind of a bit. Let me change the picture. Let me show you a few advertisements of bits, and we're going to deal with just concrete for the discussion today, and we'll do tile another time. So let me change the picture. Here we go. Okay, now first of all, I like the 4-point cutting bits, for going into concrete. Now on the lower end of the scale, I would put these DeWalts. The guys out of the club use them. They say they're okay. Me personally, I use Bosch or I use the Milwaukee. Now the Milwaukee, I would put a step up from these, and Bosch even a higher step. And I'm going to show you the slides on that in a second. But let's go ahead and stick with the DeWalt. They're readily available out at Home Depot, Lowe's, your big box stores, and they're going to work far better than those lower end ones that I was telling you about that you're just throwing away your money at. Okay, now this is a set of Bosch bits. Now I have Bosch bits and I buy them specific for the project. I don't buy the set like you see here, but if you want a good generic set, this is a good one. And I'm going to leave you the links, like I said below, on everything that we talk about. I buy specifically for what I need. So Bosch bits, like I said, are going to be my next step up in what I would consider buying, and I have them, and they've lasted me a long time. So I always go, when it comes to drilling in concrete, with what I know to be a higher quality bit. Okay, now speaking of kits, this is a Milwaukee kit, like I said. So it's a good set DIY kind of a thing to have around for concrete drilling. It's got the 4 flute. It's got really high reviews, and I do own Milwaukee bits, but like I said, I buy them specific for the job and not so much a kit. But the Milwaukee bits are a very good bit to have. Now, I like the Bosch's better, of course, but Milwaukee, there's nothing wrong with them. I would put them like second in line. Now, I know other people are going to argue about there might be even better bits out there on the market than what I'm telling you. Now, the one that I bought that is specific, I got from Northern Tool. Let me show you the ad, and then we'll get into the questions and answers. Okay, so like I said, I will buy a specific size for the job that I'm doing and spend quite a bit of money on that concrete bit. Now, these are the ones that I favor, these SDS Max 4-cutter or 4-flute, drill bits. Now, you can buy them in a single way from a lot of different people. Northern Tool just happens to be one of them. I'm not affiliated with them, but you can go to their website. You can take a look. I will also, like I said, leave you the links. Now, this is a superior cutting bit for concrete. And you can tell by looking at the tip of this, that's the reason why I chose the picture, is to give you a better idea on what to buy when it comes to drilling into concrete. Like I said, especially aged concrete is going to be incredibly hard. So you can destroy these bits real easily. All right, so those are my thoughts on the advertisements and stuff, and ones that you should consider buying. DeWalt, okay, then Milwaukee, then Bosch. Now, like I said, I put Bosch a little bit above Milwaukee, but I got Milwaukee bits also, and they perform exceptionally well, and I've had them for a long time. Okay, let's do the questions and answers. Okay, so I guess to kind of kick it off, you need to figure out what is it you need to drill. Are you going to be drilling into reinforced concrete, masonry, concrete block, or what are you going to be drilling into? And are you going to drill 1 hole, 2 holes, a few holes, a whole bunch? These carbide tip bits, I don't think you really get what you pay for a lot of times. So, you got to find that higher quality bit, carbide tipped or not. And not just because they say it is. Because a lot of times they're going to fail on you real easily. Now, Home Depot carries, the Bosch and the DeWalts, for sure. The Milwaukees, I don't remember, but they probably do because they do sell Milwaukee products. Now, if you have an industrial supply house around your area, I would tell you to go there. They're probably going to have a better selection than any of the big box stores. So why did I make the comment earlier about, drilling into concrete? Well, block is going to be much softer kind of a material than poured concrete. And depending on the age of the concrete, that matters too, because the older it is, the harder it gets. As it keeps curing for decades, old concrete comes like, wow, I mean, incredibly hard. And that's the reason why I said you might be better off renting that rotary hammer drill. Now, somebody said, why didn't I mention Makita? Well, I don't have any Makita bits, but I'm told that Makita, concrete, drilling bits are, an outstanding bit also. It's just I didn't mention them because I don't have any experience with those. But you could probably put Makita in the mix too, for those of you on the forum that are saying that they can outperform the DeWalt hands down, and they're just as good, if not better, than some of the Bosches. Okay, there's another comment in here that's saying, never add water to the hole. The mud that it makes will minimize the hammer blow and can even cause the bit to bind in the hole. So clean the flutes out of the bit occasionally when they become clogged. Try to evacuate as much dust from the hole when you can. Keep the shank end of the bit free of dust or debris. Lubricate the bit shank and the bit holder to get the longest life from the tool. Use the shortest bit possible for the hole being drilled. It helps to maximize the amount of force transmitted from the hammer to the tip. Use a shorter bit to drill the first part of the hole, then finish up with a longer bit. This can help you drill a hole faster, and the hole will be straighter and more accurate. Also, it helps long, more expensive bits last longer, saving you money. When drilling deep holes, back the bit out, clear the dust. Do not apply excessive force when drilling. Constant moderate pressure helps you keep the bit going straight and true. If you hit rebar, stop drilling and move to a different location and drill another hole. Not all hammer drills are made the same, so be careful what you're buying. Make sure that you buy a true hammer drill, one that's dedicated and will take SDS type bits. Okay, another comment here I'll read that said, cordless drills are basically jacks of all trades. Most of the high-end ones do a reasonably good job at concrete drilling, but they fall short compared to a dedicated corded hammer drill. The biggest drawbacks is the gearbox speeds on cordless drills usually are not fast enough to give an adequate blow per minute rate in the hammer mode. DeWalt usually does a very good job here because most of their drills have a third higher gear for hammer drilling, which is usually a good 400 plus RPMs faster than the others. The problem for cordless drills is that manufacturers probably don't have to consider that many people don't know how to select the gears. Cordless models are designed to range from extremely low speed to high torque to high speed to low torque. Just wanted to point out, to avoid the confusion, that what is typically marketed and referred to as a hammer drill is a vibration disc type of tool. It's sort of a two-counter rotating ratcheted discs that make the chuck pulse back and forth with ever so slightly. The faster it spins, the more it pulses or blows per second, and the more effective it is. The other tool is a rotary hammer. Same basic purpose, but a heck of a lot more effective using pneumatic piston that delivers one heck of a hard blast. Also more expensive, more complicated, but mostly unsuitable for non-concrete work. Okay, so some closing thoughts here on some of this stuff regarding, these drill bits, and especially with concrete. Nothing wrong with the kits, but just realize Home Depot and Lowe's, they're just going to sell you, a couple of different kinds of kits. It's a good starter set, okay, like I said in the comments, but when you can, you want to build on them depending on the frequency of what you're drilling, and especially when it comes to concrete. Now, the 4-flute system, that's what I believe in. I believe in, definitely the Bosch and the Milwaukees, but Bosch seems to be, the better of the bits, I believe. Now, other people are going to disagree, and I think that's fine. Can you use a hammer drill? Well, I suppose, depending on if you have a good hammer drill and it's SDS compatible and it's a good one, like I said, if you read through the comment or you listen to the comment that somebody posted about hammer drills, it does matter what you're buying when it comes to a hammer drill. So let's forget the regular drill kind of approach. That's not going to work. But if you've got something that's real tough, you're better off with a rotary hammer drill, and you're better off going ahead and just renting it if you're only going to use it for one project or so. So go slow, clear the dust out of it, and do some of the tips I suggested, and the bit's going to last you a long time. Now, if you're going to drill something that's kind of deep, my neighbor was doing this, and the way he did it, I believe, worked out fine. He started with a smaller bit, and he drilled down, short bit, smaller, drilled down a ways, took it out, went to a larger bit, went a little bit deeper, and he gradually built up to the size diameter hole he needed, and he kept clearing the dust out of it. And he was using a good hammer drill. Now, like I said, the other option is the rotary hammer. Now, he didn't drill that many, but I know contractors and people that will always opt to use the rotary hammer drill. It's just going to go through it far easier and quicker, and time is money to them. DIY or home guy, you might, get away, like I said, with a good hammer drill. So like we were saying, start your hole with a short one, end rather, with the longer one, and going to the correct size that you want. So like I said, drilling in stages, I think that's what's worked always the best for me. Somebody else has a different method, let me know, but I believe in doing it in stages. It seemed to go a lot smoother and easier. It takes a little bit more time, but remember to hold your drill nice and straight. I mean, don't let it wobble around on you, because if you're going to put like lags or something into it, you don't want a lot of slop in the hole, right? Don't apply excessive force. Use a moderate amount if you're using like a rotary hammer drill, or any kind of a drill like that. You're going to tear up these motors quick and the bit. So with a rotary hammer drill, moderate pressure hammer drill, if it's a good one, SDS, like I said, moderate pressure, but don't put excessive pressure behind them. So I hear you mention if you hit rebar to stop drilling, move to a different location. Yeah. Now, if it's mesh screen, a 4 flute bit is going to cut right through it. You don't need to worry about it so much. But with a rebar, yeah, I would. I just think you're better off moving to a different location rather than run the risk of tearing up the bit. So the last suggestion here is that you buy a good hammer drill, one that takes the SDS type bits. He didn't leave a suggestion on exactly what to buy, but to get away from the vibrating kind of hammer drills that most of these big boxes and people sell, but buy yourself a true hammer drill. That would be a big indication that at least you're going to be successful in drilling the holes, right? I don't have any experience at that. I've just used other drills that I have, and I'm an intermittent user. But I suppose if you're going to be doing a lot of drilling, it'd be worth doing some investigation and to get yourself a good hammer drill. All right, folks, I'm the Home Handyman. I hope you click subscribe, keep following me, drop a comment, let me know what kind of a hammer drill you have or what you feel is a good one, and any experience you have with hammer drills. We would appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next video where we'll probably talk about diamond tip bits. Thank you very much. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.